is Ben Keat, and I am here to talk about the potentials of starting grassroots initiatives, business foundations for all thriving startup businesses in this country with immediate effect. Now, it is my advice to most of you who play by the rules in terms of not upsetting the apple cart with Brexit and starting economic and subversive rivalry to something that was a clear public mandate, not only after the referendum, which the Brexit Party and confederated groups who are in connection with that won, but also the fact that the Conservative Party were given a clear mandate by the general public that we were going to take this by the horns and take on Brexit because it is the British thing to do. It had been voted for, irrespective of what the likes of Tony Blair did and other people from the Labour Party, the Liberal and the Tory Europhiles who stood up to the whole democratic process of putting Brexit in place and are still subverting the outcome by representing the whole run-up to the Brexit referendum being taken as a farce and saying that it was illegal because people lied as if they haven't lied in their time in election, in government. But it's not the lies that matter. There were lies on both sides. This is an irrelevant argument, just like the whole shunning of the Tory party and Boris Johnson currently is an irrelevant argument. It is nitpicking, and it is doing exactly what the Labour Party have always done since the Tories have got elected. They have stood in the way of progress, they have blocked reform, and they have put themselves in a position where they are contributing nothing to the wider picture of what is being put in place in order to make Brexit a success. They are determined to get in power so that they can overturn Brexit and put us back to the dark ages economically, where we will become a country on a par with Greece if we go back to the European Union. We put right to the back of the queue, we will lose all our money that we have gained from the whole Brexit movement, and we will be in a situation where we have lost every single advantage that Brexit has given us. And I will go further than saying Brexit has put us in a situation where we have advantages because that is the way things have progressed since Brexit has been put in place, and irrespective of whether we're in the European Union or not, we are in a situation where we are a major player on the global scale. I will go further than that, and I will say that Brexit is a massively opportunistic opportunity for this country to get involved in and to get behind. Grassroots initiatives in this country will thrive under Brexit. People have their own way of doing things. We do not need the red tape of the European Union, and we do not need to kowtow to the European Union to dole out umpteen amounts of cash for nothing in return. They have continually been a cipher on the UK because we are a country that has massive innovation, massive potential and great creativity. All they do is put themselves in a position that can siphon off our money and turn us into the cow that is being milked for the European collective. And that is not any reason to get back into bed with Europe. Not only would the Labour Party destroy our country, destroy our economy, and put us back virtually in line with the medieval times and the horse and cart with their green, aggressive green agenda and ambitions, but they would also absolutely flounder at being given the helm of a country that has now a massively innovative and technical reality in the machinations of power, in the business that runs this country and that the government deal and organise and control. Okay, the government in this country have a massive technical refit technological refit or technical industrial revolution that Corbyn was trying to palm off, that he was going to be the great revealer of this technical industrial revolution. Absolute rubbish. It's been going on since David Cameron was in power. Underneath the currents of the status quo and the business as usual product and GDP and everything that this country is producing, the technical industrial revolution has started to thrive in this community of this country, and it has started especially since lockdown started. People have got down to their work and put the whole process in place of making this new system roll out to the government and to the businesses associated with this country and this government. Okay, so the Labour Party have no idea. They have contributed nothing. They have no understanding of what the government is at the helm of. And they will suddenly, if they suddenly took power in these subversive methods, this nitpicking methods of getting Boris thrown out of government and put into legal proceedings, if they took him out of power, okay, all they would get is a situation where they knew nothing about how to run the country. It would go out of their control. The country would become chaos, and we get the usual problems of infrastructure, traffic jams, and everything else jammed because the Labour Party could not keep control of the system they had inherited. It is an absolute farce. That party are rivaling the Conservative government with absolutely no plan of action, no reality to become a better reality for the country and for Brexit, no interest in making Brexit work, every interest of implementing an absolutely draconian green plan that will enforce this country to go back to shoveling dung and driving around in horse and carts, because that is the Liberal agenda. That is the reality you have to wake up to if you vote for these people in the next general election. Be warned of that, but also be warned of the Labour government, how nasty, insidious and dangerous they can be. Because we knew it under Corbyn. Do not be deceived, it is still the same still hand in a velvet glove that is driving the Labour Party through this communist ideal, this communist, libertarian, thinly veiled as a libertarian reality, where it's actually a communist agenda that is threatening the economic structure of the West. It is pro subversion in Daesh, in the guise of Daesh and Islamic State. It does business with terrorists potentially, and it is in a situation where it's going to stop our country developing as an economy. And there's a movement across the whole West to bring down the West and turn the country into the lowest common, turn the world into the lowest common denominator. That is what they want to do. That is what these dangerous people want to do. And they want to do it with demagoguery and mandate, like we're seeing in Melbourne with Dan Andrews, the governor of Melbourne. This guy, okay, has put a mandate in place so that no one can receive money unless they have been injected with the virus, with the antivirus. This is fascism, and it's verging on something that is going to manifest itself across the earth as we develop as a reforming nation, as an improving nation with Brexit and everything that we put in place, the full optimism of the reality that's going to come in place. Okay, this mandate is going to sweep the earth as they cannot get control of the COVID virus, so-called, because actually what's happening is there is a China-initiated reality, and you can check out the links between Dan Andrews and China, and also Joe Biden and China and his family, Hunter Biden. There is collusion between China and the Democrats concerning the election, the last election in America, and also the collusion between Russia and America and Trump has been absolutely disproven, because a British spy was the whistleblower on the whole thing, and his contact has proven under oath that he was lying about the whole thing, and that was the one source the FBI and the CIA were using to put Trump, to impeach him and take him out of power.
This is a dangerous reality. This communist agenda, thinly veiled as a liberal, eco, green, reforming planet structure. Okay, what it is doing is imprisoning the planet and it's putting us back to horse and cart so that we're all on the same field as people who are in outer Mongolia living as peasants without the reality of a system that has been set up and put in place to secure the future of the West and put us into the legal organisational directive from the existing legal infrastructure. Okay, this has to be realised by the British people. You cannot sit around nitpicking a Tory government who do mindly hypocritical things when they're all having a work party with people they've been working with all day. Okay, and just because they did it out of hours with alcohol, it's like the worst thing possible that anyone could have done. The whole country were doing it. Everyone was doing it. Everyone was breaking lockdown rules. I bet we can look into the Labour government and find they did exactly the same thing. And I would love to see egg on face on Keir Starmer, because that guy is unrepentantly, dogmatically woke. Now, we have a situation in this country where people are either going to vote for the Labour Party in the next election to give the Tories a good kicking. They have worked day and night to get this country back on the road. They have put their back into improving the situation with Brexit. They have done everything to get the COVID vaccine out there as quickly as possible. Okay, but no one credits them for the positive things they do, because there is a Labour, liberal, left smear that is running through the media of this country. Okay, it is running through this country, through the very veins of the system that people are only fed from one angle, which is this liberal left smear that goes against the Conservative Party. They will jump down the throats of any Tory party they can possibly do, because all they want to do is stop Brexit happening, because their handouts from the European Union were giving them massive salaries. They were living in clover, and they had all the money they wanted from the European Union to go on procrastinating and creating a system that is based on, the whole usury system that the Liberals are so embedded into, and the debt slave culture where the Liberals and all the elites who know best in a very wise, considered manner is absolutely untrue. They know nothing. The Reform Party, okay, is the party that will take it to three-party politics. Richard Tice is head of the Reform Party. He has a good plan for the future of this country. It is common sense. The party is based and run by business people who have good knowledge of how the grassroots of this country operate and how we can build up infrastructure through business connections between us and other countries. They are good ambassadors for this country. Okay, I also talk about Dr. David Bull, who's also the deputy head of the Reform Party, and he is an extremely innovative and intelligent guy who has got a lot of information, a lot of knowledge about his experience in doing business and being a doctor in this country. Okay, professionals running this country in a way that is scaling down government and taking out the red tape. The logistics will all be run by the business associations, businesses will run themselves, and the Reform Party will take it to the next level. Okay, so this is the option that's there before you. It's there because people who are involved with the Reform Party have a vested interest in assuring the future of this country. They are patriotic. They are not only patriotic, but they are multiracial. Okay, and they come from all walks of life, all genders, everything else. Everything is represented in the Reform Party. There is nothing fascist about this movement. Okay, it is there to come along and steer the ship and guide us in times of uncertainty, like the Brexit Party did when they managed to get the mandate to get us out of the European Union. That was very, very important. Okay, Because if the Labour Party get in, you can expect a mandate, okay, a different kind of mandate to the one that we had against the European Union. This mandate will enforce the vaccine, and it will be done economically. They will stop your bank account. This is what they're doing in Melbourne and various other parts of the world now. They will stop your bank account if you refuse the jab. If you refuse to be 666, they will stop your bank account and you will not be able to have any money. I guarantee you. That is why we did Brexit, to keep these demons out of our country, to keep our country stronger than the rest of the world, not weaker by all this infighting and standing in the way of progress. Okay, Keir Starmer has no right to take the leadership of the Tory government. Okay, he has had no right whatsoever, because he has done nothing, and doing nothing is the most evil thing you can do.